Do you belong to any fandoms that when you talk about them, people just stare and nod at you? Imagine if one of those fandoms was just as crazy about another one as much as you were. Kinda like that moment when Sheldon was in Star Trek. Bazango. Anyway, that's how I felt when I saw this.
Later, our heroes have an unexpected visitor.
Now, in case you're way out of the loop, let me explain. Earthworm Jim was a game developed in 1994 by a game company called Shiny Entertainment. Two people were largely responsible for it, cartoonist Doug TenNapel and game programmer David Perry. In the game, players control Earthworm Jim as he jumps across multi-tiered levels, runs and guns, shoots enemies, bounces on tires, slings from floating balls, climbs across chains, and rockets across space to travel to the next challenge, all just within the first level of the game. This game became a cult classic, mainly due to its wacky design and ever-changing gameplay mechanics. Although it does have a mediocre score on Metacritic. Actually, that's pretty solid. Nice. After following the unfortunate 90s trend kept in motion by Pac-Man, Super Mario Bros., Mega Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, Legend of Zelda, and countless other franchises, Earthworm Jim was adapted into a cartoon series. This is where Jimothy's character is really fleshed out. Worm flesh? Suited up? Worm fleshed out? I don't know. Doug TenNapel was put in charge of directing the series, and the famous Dan Castellaneta, who you may know as the voice of Homer Simpson, was given the role of Earthworm Jim.
Groovy!
Wait, what did he just say?
Groovy.
Yeah, I realize that one word can't tie two universes together, but when I was watching Earthworm Jim's animated series, I came across an episode called The Book of Doom. After watching this episode multiple times, I'm convinced it's a tribute to the cult classic film franchise The Evil Dead. The Evil Dead covers what happens to a very unlucky character named Ashley J. Williams when he decides to take his girlfriend into a mysterious cabin in the woods over summer vacation.
So what's this place like?
Well, it's a little run down, but it's right up in the mountains.
Waiting in the cabin is the Necronomicon, an evil book bound in flesh and inked in blood. Reading from it can summon demons from the underworld and could lead to the end of the actual world, the one we live in, Earth, or just all of it, I don't know. In the Book of Doom, an all-evil being named Evil the Cat wishes to destroy the universe using the vilest tomb in creation. Fuzzy Wuzzy's Funny Animals pop-up book, mistakenly created by a dull-witted book printer in medieval times. Our hero, Earthworm Jim, is in possession of the sought-after book, and after reading from it, he unknowingly reveals its location to Evil the Cat, much like Ashley does in The Evil Dead.
Here are the phonetic pronunciations of those passages.
After refusing to give the book up, Earthworm Jim loses control of his body due to a mushy French cheese mishap and is rushed inside his home by his sidekick, Peter Puppy.
Get move! Jim, come on!
Peter Puppy then tries his hardest to break free the cheese-coated Jim, which leads us to this scene.
Later, our heroes have an unexpected visitor.
It's short and unimportant, but this scene is what made me realize how close to the sun the writers were flying. Alright, let me explain. In The Evil Dead 2, Ash becomes possessed and must fight his own right hand. This conflict ends as Ash is forced to lop off his right hand at the wrist with a chainsaw. The two scenes are very similar. Although Earthworm Jim was covered in cheese and had his right foot smashed free with a hammer, but come on, this is a kid's show. Only a few seconds later, another parallel is drawn as Evil the Cat disguises himself as an innocent child and begs for the Book of Doom.
I am so bored and wish I had some amusing book with which to entertain myself with.
Much like the mysterious force battling Ash in The Evil Dead, this force is known to have the ability to change the physical appearance of its host to manipulate his or her loved ones.
Please don't hurt me. You swore that we'd always be together.
Earthworm Jim, unlike Ash, falls for this trick. He soon realizes what he's done and follows in pursuit of Evil the Cat's spaceship.
We must have more speed! I cannot do it, Captain! She'll not take the strain!
Oh, and in case you didn't catch that, that's an Ace Ventura reference too.
I just can't do it, Captain! I do have the power!
After getting shot by Evil the Cat, Earthworm Jim loses control of his rocket and falls into a black hole. This is very visually similar to what happens in The Evil Dead 2. The next scene shows that Jim avoids the black hole, making it completely unnecessary, but this is probably just to draw further connections to the Evil Dead. While trying to remember what was written in the book, the duo finds themselves on a stinky planet.
Smell overwhelming hole.
Jim's sidekick stretches his face in repulsion of the stench,
I can't stand it.
and later turns violent and attacks his partner in crime. Much like this scene from Army of Darkness. For those unaware of the context, Ash is sent into the cemetery to retrieve the Necronomicon, but is forced to deal with its cursed duplicates.
Hold it. Nobody said anything about 3 books.
One duplicate stretches his face, and the other turns aggressive and fights him. Sorry, I just really like that scene. I mean, look, he's being attacked by a book. Alright, back to Earthworm Jim. Jim then inadvertently causes the evil to become stronger by fulfilling the prophecy that leads to the destruction of the universe.
Yes! History will remember me as the cat who destroyed the universe.
The fact that Earthworm Jim caused this issue is interesting, because in the Army of Darkness, Ash also made a mistake that almost caused the end of the world. Ash was meant to say 3 words precisely to dispel the evil, but he completely missed the 3rd one.
Klaatu, Miranda.
This caused evil to attack the land. Also, notice the lightning strikes. They're incredibly similar to what happened in Earthworm Jim. After some conflict, Evil was stranded on the planet forever, and his ship was destroyed thanks to Jim's cleverness. Just how Ashley, in the Army of Darkness, used his Oldsmobile against the evil.
Say hello to the 21st century.
Ooh, okay. I think those are all the connections to the Evil Dead trilogy in this episode. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make after all these comparisons is I think it's amazing to see artists pay tribute to their influences. It's so important to stay grounded no matter how successful you get. And it's usually worth to look back on your work and remember that you too were a fan of something. And seeing an artist do this is really cool. It was important for Doug TenNapel to revisit the origins of his character, and that's why he remains as one of the most memorable game designers of my gaming life. Mainly due to the Neverhood, which is a completely different video. Speaking of which, thanks for watching. I know this format is alien to my channel. I'm trying to expand my content outside of the regions of just Let's Plays. So if you're interested in more content like this, or you have ideas for other video projects, go ahead and let me know. Send me a message, or just comment. There's not many comments in general, it's just Fresno Shaboys, usually commenting down there. Anyway, if you guys want to directly support my channel, subscribe. There's about 7 billion of you guys who still haven't subscribed, and I'm not okay with that. Okay, that's all the script that I have typed up here. So, that's the end of my video. I really couldn't have gotten a better ending than that. It didn't seem like I learned anything.